Come on in, guys. Welcome to Please Survive. I'm Molly McAleer. This is my first season of Survivor.
I'm Jessica. I'm the super fan, and we have voted Rob off the island. He's not here with us
Yes,
today.
the tribe has motherfucking spoken, dude, and you're out. No, Rob's at Disneyland.
No, we have a women's alliance happening. Come on.
Yeah, right. It's a women's alliance. You're so funny. You're so funny. I'm really starting to get the hang of this Survivor thing.
Yeah, yeah.
It's thankfully just in time for the last episode. I think I'm starting to really get the hang of the Survivor thing. I was sat for this new episode
Yeah.
and I don't think I realized it was like the second to last episode.
Yeah, I think, like, I knew that it was, but I feel like the pacing of this episode was so bizarre that it, like, sort of, that was the disorienting factor. Not so much that it was the second to last episode, but, like, that they did 2 full episodes within an hour and a half. When we've had a 2-hour episode where only one person goes home. So the pacing and length of episodes has been so unusual and not indicative of the previous 49 seasons.
Was shook when the first tribal started. I know last week's episode was called Everybody Will Be Shooketh. I was shooketh when the first tribal came up because I was like, it's over already? I was like, "Where are we?" And then I was like, "Oh, this could be one of those randomly 2 hour." Sorry, my cat is. I just was telling you what a good girl she is, and right now she's trying to scratch her face on the side of my laptop. So she's just a little girl. She doesn't know what the hell's going on, just like me. But yeah, I thought this was a tough one in terms of eliminations.
Mhm.
Where should we start with this episode?
Uh, my gosh. I mean, I feel like, maybe, like, at the end, going backwards, because I feel like, all I really wanna talk about is how the 2 people who deserve to win the game are no longer in the game, and now what am I even watching for next week?
I know, I know. It's, a surprising final group, I'll say that. I mean, I guess we could talk about the challenges.
Well, I do wanna talk about the challenge where everybody ganged up on Tiffany. I
The
didn't
sec the second block arch thing?
Yeah, the second of the identical challenges that they did.
Mhm.
Not really, but, like, it's funny that Billie Eilish is like, "I can't go on Survivor because I can't do math," and then we get 2 spelling puzzles in this episode.
Yeah, I mean, well, like, the first one, I think the blocks were, like, stacked correctly for them in advance, but I am surprised that we didn't see more misspelling. I mean, when they cut to the opposite side of Joe's arch puzzle and we saw what it said there, I was like, I feel like he was trying his goddamn best. I wondered if it was spelled correctly on the other side.
So, the day before the episode aired, he put out a thing on social media, I don't know if you saw this, but he came out as dyslexic.
Okay, okay. So honestly, that's tea. I mean, well, as a dyslexic, I'd like to welcome him to the community. I will say we can't, don't bring that honor and integrity shit over to the dyslexia community. I'm not interested. But yeah, I felt embarrassed for him. And it was kind of inconceivable, felt like a very strange word for them that didn't seem obvious in the survivor world. I think at one point Jeff said that it was somehow connected to the game, and I was like, "This word does not feel connected to this game at all, but maybe I'm missing something."
No, there's no, like, inside joke or anything. I guess, like, it's inconceivable that I would make it to the final 5 on season 50. Like, I feel like that's all it was. But since I'm the super fan and you're the newbie, I do feel like it's also important to give you this tidbit of lore where Joe, on his first season, had a spelling puzzle, and he spelled the words "got fun betrale," Betrale, and he thought that it said betrayal. So it was like another puzzle, and he thought that the answer was got fun betrayal, which like isn't really
What the
even a
fuck
thing
is
anyway.
Betrally? What is Betrally?
Nothing, but like the indicators were there of his dyslexia previously
Yeah,
because we've already seen him do this before.
but the puzzle was supposed to be got fun Betrally?
No, it wasn't. He just like it was such a miss, but um it was like an epic misspelling of something that like even if he spelled it correctly wouldn't have made sense.
What was it supposed to be?
I can't remember right now. Sorry.
No, it's fine. Yeah, I will say that, like, I think Joe had some nice moments as well in this episode where I was like, "He's a
Mhm.
little less annoying than I thought he was." Jonathan, so annoying. There can only be one the most annoying, and I feel like it's Jonathan.
Do you mean because he's shoved his whole tongue and deep throated the rice container?
Yeah, yeah, a little bit. That was at least showing a playful side to him, I'll say that. But he's just so serious. He's so serious, and I find that to be such a painful quality in a person most of the time. Like I liked that Tiffany and Devens were sort of like playfully giving him shit about the pot,
Yeah.
not boiling. But yeah, I would have been so the barbecue reward, I would have done anything for that. That's the first thing that I've seen them eat on Survivor where I'm like, I would have done anything to get that freaking barbecue.
It also didn't look disgusting.
It didn't. It looked good. Cirie is so fucking cute, and that's all I could think about this whole episode was just like, she's the cutest person in the world to look at. She's so adorable. Like, I didn't even know that they made adults older than me who are that adorable. Like, I couldn't believe it. Like, when she was eating the ribs and she's like, "I feel like Fred Flintstone." Like, I was just like, cutie, like, you're so cute. But yeah, I was happy that Rizzo got his food, and finally, we got Tiffany and Devens bitching about Rizzo's chicken behavior, which I was
Mhm.
happy that we got that they said something that they didn't show on camera, like him getting the chicken at the auction and making a stink about it. They were both so turned off by that, and I was surprised that this was the first episode where it seemed like since the beginning, basically, that Rizzo was really getting gunned for.
Also, them, like, talking about the chicken the way that they did, and then also even at Tribal, like, that's an example of a classic Survivor fight and a classic reason why somebody might get voted out, like and we don't really get those anymore. I sort of just assume that they didn't happen anymore, but maybe they do and they're just not showing them to us, but that's a big miss because it's very entertaining to see, like, the smaller the issue, the more entertaining the fight,
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely. Well, I mean, it was never a head-on fight, but, like, watching Tiffany and Devens, kind of bitch about, like, the most relatable thing, because I feel like there's several ways to tick people off in Survivor that I've observed so far in terms of just like, not doing anything at camp, being like a consistently annoying person. But the idea that, at the end of the day, they all have to be there and suck it up. Like they're all in so much pain. And someone who is failing to seize moments like that on such a basic level has to be like, really, it has to be a bigger motivator than they're showing.
Yeah, it's also so weird that, like, Rizzo says that he's, like, a super fan, like, grew up watching Survivor, and then he doesn't actually, like, play any of the aspects of Survivor. Like, he doesn't do anything around camp. He doesn't win challenges. Like, both times he got an idol, it wasn't because he looked for them, it was because somebody just gave him an idol. Like, he doesn't really, like, do any survivory things.
Can he make fire?
He lost in Fire, at last season and didn't go to the finals because he couldn't make fire.
That was a little side project of mine this week was I wanted to look up making fire because people talk about fire as if it's like you just hear people talk about it all the time. And like you don't I didn't like you think about okay, making fire from the angle of like are you making it at the camps or like oh, I guess it's a challenge, but like I don't even know what that would look like. So I looked it up and like it seems pretty easy to do if you're not a freaking moron.
Yeah, I've never tried. I looked it up too. I'm sure that there's something to all eyes on you while you're doing it that
Yeah.
like if you have like performance anxiety or just like, say you're anybody except for Tiffany who like, can't be steady on things, then it might be a challenge.
Yeah, I could see that, and, like, yeah, it's the definitely the being on the spot of it all, but getting a spark from flint like that and, like, lighting like, having all the perfect utilities for, like, starting a little fire, I was surprised at how many sticks that they got too.
Mhm.
Do you think they're gonna do fire in this episode?
In the next episode,
Mhm.
don't because I believe that people thought I can't remember if people knew at the time when we voted, but, like, the fire challenge was one of the things we could vote on, and I feel like people were like, "Well, what if Cirie is on this season? We don't want her to lose that fire again because she's already lost that fire twice and
Yeah.
like, gone home." But also, like, I don't think people enjoy fire. Like, I don't think people enjoy watching it. I think people enjoy the strategy more, so I don't think so.
I saw a video when I was looking up the previous fire challenges
Mhm,
of a woman who said that and I was thinking about how you told us last week that, Jeff has said that the best Survivor players are all men,
mhm.
and I saw a video of this woman explaining that in her opinion, fire is sexist because only 2 women have won fire in all of the years, and she feels like Jeff does that to have a better like, closer to his ideal final lineup.
While I hate fire and don't like Jeff, I would disagree with that. That absolutely seems like one of the only tasks where a man or woman could equally do it the same. It's like they don't have to cut the tree down by themselves and get to, like, make the little sticks.
Well, I mean, I was just saying that I thought the supporting stat that only 2 women have won fire in
Mhm.
history is interesting. Like, that was the part that stood out to me
Yeah.
because, like, that's just such a incredibly low number. I don't know how many times they've done fire, but it sounds like a lot.
It's less than 15 because, uh, I think I think it started on Chrissy's season, and I think it if I remember. So that's only like 15 seasons ago. So it hasn't been like the whole, time. Um, I don't understand though why you would go on Survivor and not know how to make fire. And I also don't understand why while you're out there, like you wouldn't be like, "Hey guys, today can I be the one that starts the fire?" Like you don't deserve to win then. I think. As you know, I watch many iterations of Survivor like around the world, and somebody on Australia once said that one of the tricks to doing fire, and obviously I don't know if this is true, but I thought it was really interesting, is that when people take the flint, and I know this is really good for an audio podcast right now, but people take the flint and they rub down,
Huh.
and when they do that, it makes the particles from the magnesium spread out more than if they went up, then it's a more concentrated disbursement, and so
Huh.
the flame catches better. So if you watch the fire challenge, you always see people going down, but if they
Huh.
went up,
Oh,
in theory, it's a more controlled, like, magnesium disbursement.
that's so interesting.
Yeah. And I, like, still haven't really seen anybody do it like that.
God, I wish that these were tools that I had readily available so I could try.
I've looked on Amazon before 'cause I'm like, "How hard can it be? I wanna do it." It's like maybe I think you could get, like, a kit for, like, $20. I just haven't
Alright.
ever, but yeah.
Are they sold as Survivor fire kits?
No, like, just, like, Google Flint, but I think you have to, like, it doesn't come, like, with, like, the husks or whatever, like, you just have to, like.
That's what I need. I need the husks. Like, I would not be able to accurately judge it without having
Right.
the little things. Um, yeah, I was really proud of Tiffany. Again, it's, like, kind of crazy how she's really, like she's just so strong. Like, is she an athlete?
I feel like she was. I feel like maybe she played basketball, like, at a decent level, like,
Okay.
maybe college? I can't remember, but I feel like in the past I've looked it up before because she is I feel like I bring this up, like, once every 4 weeks that we podcast, but, like, again, you know how I can, like, watch someone in, like, the way that they move, I can tell that they're athletic?
Yeah.
She has that, and, like, the way that she, like, did the rope that time, which, by the way, was, from double dutch. From playing, so many years of double dutch, that's she, like, knew how to work the rope so well.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, she's very fluid in her motions and, like, seems athletic. I think it was, like, super gross to see 3 white men and a white girl conspiring against her, especially when 2 of the men are, like, gargantuan.
It
I don't think
felt
that's a good look for the show.
it felt so obvious to me, and it was, like, almost I felt like it was almost and maybe I'm getting crazy, like, overtly racist when they were all like, "No, if she gets to the final, she's winning. They're gonna give it to her."
I didn't think that part was. I thought, like, the visual of Cirie on one end, Tiffany on the other, and then the 4 people in the middle all conspiring felt visually racist.
Yeah. Yeah. It was, strange.
It also was like, Aubrey, like, "Why are you being a bitch? Like, why are you helping these men? Like, she's the smartest person out there, and she can spell. Like, why is she giving up immunity and not trying for immunity?" Everything happened was within the rules, but, like, to me, if I was on the jury and I knew that this happened, I would not vote for any 4 of those people.
Yeah.
Like, if I could help it, that's how, like, egregious I feel and, like, antithetical to the game I felt like that was.
I was very, in the zone though with Tiff when she said that, like, basically it was her ADHD that, like, helped her win
Mhm.
this because she goes tunnel vision and, like, it didn't matter that all these people around her were doing all of this. She wasn't even noticing it because she was so in her zone, and that is something that I know very, very, very well. In fact, before it really, like, clicked for me what my ADHD was and how it was showing up in me, like, I've had that diagnosis as a young child, but my mom never medicated me, and so she said I tried it for a little bit, and she said that she was like, "You're not yourself," and I was like, "No, I think that, like, maybe I'm just medicated." Like, and now I look back, I'm like, "Girl, maybe I wasn't myself because I wasn't, like, ADHDing out." Yeah, I spent a lot of my life being like, "Oh, no, I'm, like, the most focused person, like, I'm so focused, like, when I'm writing, don't talk to me, like, it'll completely throw me off, like, I'm so focused." What I didn't realize is that that was just, like, classic ADHD symptoms and me in order to do the thing that I really love to do, uh, I was, like, channeling all 100% of my focus into it, and, thank God for that skill because I'm gonna be honest with you. I fucking hated Jeff Probst during that challenge so
He was
much. The
so
frog
annoying.
challenge, he would not stop talking. And, like, there is an argument to be made for Jeff is the host, so he has to talk as part of the program, right? But it was incessant. It was so over the top. it was so unlikable. It seemed he seemed clueless, like, unaware that, like, this was is a detriment to the game, and then I was like, "You know what? I bet he is aware, and that's even worse." Like, he's talking to make it harder for them, which to me is exactly the kind of, like, unfair play that, like, drives me nuts. That's the kind of thing that I think I would snap. Has anyone ever snapped at him during a challenge and said, like, "Jeff, shut up"?
They've snapped at him before in challenges. I don't know if it was I can't recall exactly if it was shut up, but, like, I mean, people have given him the finger before during challenges, but, like, not in many years, or, like, they haven't shown it in many years.
I couldn't handle it. It was infuriating.
This week, it was particularly bad. I also was like, "Oh my god, just shut up for a second."
Yeah, I was like, this isn't adding to the program. It's not
Right.
adding to the show that you're doing this. I know that they are on absolute edge right now.
Also, I'm watching the show. I'm watching. I can see.
Yeah, I don't need to be teleplayed. And, like, it could not have been and I was like, wow, I mean, I wonder if also I'm just, like, really the intensity of this, like, puzzle, this block stacking puzzle is, like, I can really feel this intensity a lot more, especially, like, than when they do a lot of physical stuff, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
But this in particular, I was so dialed into how difficult it was. So, like, the talking just was even worse because it was so suspenseful.
Yeah, I've been watching, some of the older seasons. Like, not only did he used to talk a lot less, but they used to let the challenges actually go for a period of time. Like, the doghouse challenge from last week when, the one that Tiffany won, but then they said, "No, you didn't win."
Yeah.
I watched the season when they first did that challenge the other day, and, like, it went on for a very long time, and they only stood on 1 foot because there were 2 girls at the end, and they were doing it for so long that the 2 girls were like, "Okay, let's end this already. How do you wanna end it?" And then one of them said, "How about we do 1 foot?" And then, like, that's how it started because the challenge had already gone for so long. And it's like, this one was only happening for 20 minutes before they made them go on 1 foot and called it a day. And it's like,
Yeah.
great. Like, I mean, essentially, it was whoever lifted their leg up at the right time because everybody else was falling was the winner.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Uh, I mean, that I think that I would've particularly, like, Rizzo, people who got really, really close to having the whole thing done and their blocks fell, like, that to me was like, this has taken them a long time. I could tell that that probably went on for, like, an hour.
In that, like, chat BCC thing, Rizzo said that he thought it was about a half an hour.
Really?
Yeah, because someone asked him, and he said probably 30 minutes.
Yeah, it looked I mean, it was, so defeating.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I couldn't bel like, there was a couple of them, a couple of times, like, Devens got really close after fucking up at the beginning. I mean, wow, what a heartbreak with Devens.
Yeah, yeah, and Devon's, like, really was the only person trying to entertain.
Trying to entertain, and I think also having a lot of fun there for the most part, and I thought that it was really kind of poignant because I think Jonathan thinks of himself as, like, a very he probably thinks of himself as a very positive person, right?
Probably.
You know, he probably thinks he's
Yeah,
this really positive guy,
mhm,
but, like, watching Devon's break down because, like, he's just like, I'm not having fun doing this anymore," you know,
mhm.
was, interesting because 'cause I'm like, I don't think that that element of it has probably ever even occurred to Jonathan. You know, like, "Oh, like, someone might come here because they're having fun." Like, someone might be trying to bring fun to this game 'cause, while he probably thinks he's a really positive person, can't I don't think that he's so delusional that he thinks he's fun.
Well, like, I Jonathan and Joe have never experienced whimsy in their life, like
100%.
ever, and it like, they're just like cardboard or like wooden, and like, at least, like, Rizzo in his confessionals is animated, like, even though he, like, in games appears to be, like, near death, at least his confessionals are, have character and personality. Like, those 2, it's just like, I don't even understand how they were cast.
Yeah, that's a that's a good question. Like, how did they stand out amongst the crowd? I mean, Joe, I think, has his, the dead sister angle, I think was
Yeah, but they
probably.
I agree, but so many people apply to be on Survivor. It's like, couldn't you have just found another beefy man with a similar story who actually is entertaining?
Yeah.
And like with Jonathan, like you couldn't have found like a different He-Man that has a personality?
I mean, I think that sometimes, though, picking someone who's flat makes the show a little bit more interesting. And it's infuriating because it's like, you could just be fun. You could have, like, one characteristic that so many of these people have plenty of. Like, if they could spare one and give it to you. But watching them, it's painful because, like, I feel no connection to either one of them as well. And I wonder if what they are there for, though, is to represent a certain type of person that's very real in this world. That's maybe like a man that has no whimsy. Like, who has a man with whimsy is fucking Coach, has so much whimsy,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
yeah. That it's just, I mean, it's rough. Just like seeing these people, like at least have a bad personality. Like, be like interesting bad. Don't just be boring bad.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a
Oh,
marvelous thing, you know?
you know what else? I think that that scene of Devens in the hammock with Joe when Devens starts crying, I feel like I am like so much more impacted by that scene because we've seen the other side of him being fun. So, like, you get, like, 90% fun Devons, and then we just got, like, 10%, like, um, really just, like, emotional, like, heartfelt versus, like, we don't ever see a fun Joe or a fun Jonathan. So, like, Joe is just basically misery all the time, like,
Yeah.
he's either even or he's misery, he never goes above even. And then Jonathan's going above even is taunting somebody. He did it with Dee when he was like, "I'm gonna rile Dee up," and then starts fight with her. Then he did it with Tiffany with, like, harassing her about the rice. So, like, I mean, I guess that's fine. I guess that's entertaining, actually.
Yeah, I mean, it was the rice thing was the most entertaining thing he's done all season.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Like, and it's almost like they're giving us an offering or something
Mhm.
because he's going to be there in the final 5.
Yeah.
And so
I
they're like, "Here's at least one silly thing this guy did that's very Survivor-esque 'cause he's starving."
It's so weird because, like, even if I was, like, home by myself, it would never, ever, ever occur to me to stick my tongue into a jar of rice. Like, uh, you know, there's 2,000,000 things I would think of to do before that. Like, I can't even imagine that idea comes into somebody's head when they could just pour it into their hand.
Yeah, I know, but, I mean, you just don't have that silly Billy streak. I have a little bit of a silly Billy streak. I get curious, you know? I'm like, "I wonder what that would feel like." And so I just follow that intrusive thought. But, yeah, I'm surprised more people aren't eating dry rice. if I'm being honest with you.
Mhm.
It feels
Yeah.
like it would probably feel good in the body. I mean, I feel like most of them no, Jonathan got totally ripped off at the auction. He didn't get any good
Yeah.
food.
Yeah, agree.
Well, no, he got the vegetables.
And he got that slug thing or whatever. Can we talk about how, like, why are we even having a finale episode when they made Aubrey's winner edit so obvious?
I just think they needed to carry us over the line.
I mean, it's like I felt like somebody, like, took 2 cymbals and just, like, smashed my head in and then was like, "Doing, doing, 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 Aubrey's gonna win." Like, duh. And,
Yeah,
like, maybe this is just, like, the most epic misdirect of all time, but the only other person who deserves to win is Tiffany. So,
yeah,
if it's not Aubrey, it better be Tiffany.
yeah.
I mean,
I was
I guess
surprised at Tiffany's game in this episode. I don't know why. Maybe it's because we didn't get to spend much time with her this season, like, it was quite noticeable that she was under edited in this show.
yeah,
So, I mean, I guess that lines up with the idea that because she was out so much, like, maybe that bodes well for her, right? Like, and she gets into the final 3 or something.
think
But
I wish, if she actually wins, amazing for her, but, like, what a disservice to her. Um I mean, it's sort of like a disservice to anyone who wins because all of the edit even Aubrey's edit, which looks like a winning edit, has, like, dunked on her a lot.
yeah.
Like, she has to keep on talking about how she lost in the finals. I've never, on any other season, heard someone talk about that so much, and, whether or not she's bringing it up or they're just choosing to use it, half of her confessionals are, not, positive ones.
Yeah, I mean, I think that they are also driving that home because it's been so essential to her plan on how to win. Like, her losing in the past and that experience with the girl that she lost to is, like is clearly what's informing her entire game. So, the reason why, she said in an earlier episode that, like, she's gonna copy basically move for move the game that her opponent played. And so I
Michelle.
think the reason why it keeps getting referenced is because, like, she is using that playbook and she is remembering, "Okay, like, this is exactly how I got where I was last time, but I didn't do it the best."
I have a
Yeah.
counterpoint. My counterpoint is that this could be the luckiest winning game that anyone's ever played. Like Colby and Q on their original tribe with Aubry, they almost threw a challenge to get rid of Aubry. And they tried to throw the challenge and they didn't do it good enough. Then she gets gifted an idol. Then she gets on a tribe with her nemesis in the only configuration that would have saved her, and it does. When we talk about people being twist screwed or swap screwed, Aubry got twist prized and swap prized. Every possible like coin flip went her way, or every possible, you know, like game of chance,
And she
scenario
got
of
all
chance went her way.
green lights the whole way home.
Yeah. And maybe that's what Survivor is. And that's how you win. Maybe. I've never seen a game like this before.
Yeah, I do wanna talk about how what you mentioned a second ago with Rizzo. Rizzo comes off like such a non-factor
Mhm.
in the camps, like, in the scenes, like, seems like he's very quiet, which is interesting because, like, he also is known for being a little bit of a yapper, but, like, he just seems very low energy and not just maybe because of the, starvation, but, like, he just seems low energy, and then you're right, in his interviews, he's amped up. It's really interesting, it's like, I don't know, plenty of people are like that, right? Like, they are like, quiet, maybe more introverted even, and then, like, in the right setting, they really shine. But I'm almost like, I mean, what do you even talk to him about?
Ozzy said something in one of his, like, exit press things where it was like he was, like, talking about Rizzo, and it was like, "It's fine if you wanna play Survivor only in confessionals, but, like, like, why don't you try and do something else? Like, add more tools to your game."
Yeah, that's a really good point.
And, like,
I
for Ozzy to
wonder
say that,
why of him of all people?
because, like, Ozzy has, like, no social awareness, like, no,
Yeah.
like, strategic or social awareness.
I wonder what it is with I don't wanna be like Gen Z, like, I don't wanna be like that about Rizzo's sort of, like, bizarre lack of interest in the game despite being the biggest fan of all time, and it's a very strange quality because it's like Donna Kelsey on The Traitors, right?
Mhm,
Where it's like she's there to, like, watch all these TV stars up close. Like, she's having fun with it like that, right? But, like, Donna's not really, like, getting into the gossip and, like, playing traitors in that way, right?
mhm.
I feel like that's Rizzo. Like, I feel like Rizzo came to watch his favorite TV characters, and, like, be a part of be on the set, do that, but, like, you would imagine that your average Survivor's, like, super fan would be all over being good at some of these challenges. Like, you wanna get there and you wanna win.
Yeah. Um, like, somebody was saying, like, if you can't win an immunity challenge, like, you don't deserve to win Survivor, and it was, like, in reference about Cirie, but this is now the 2nd season that Rizzo hasn't even come close to winning a challenge.
Yeah,
He's terrible,
yeah.
and
Certain people, I
like,
feel like, show up to certain challenges, though, and they don't even try. Like, they don't seem interested in trying.
I mean, it's like, for an average person, they're gonna get, like for an average person who plays Survivor, like, their lifespan of getting to do challenges is, like, 3 to 12 challenges over the course of their lifetime. So it's like, why don't you show up? This is, like, one of your 3 days or, like, one of your 12 days that you get to do a Survivor challenge.
Yeah, yeah. I remain fascinated by that. That is a really interesting comment from Ozzy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's kind of because Ozzy was the inverse, where he, like, did the challenge, like, provided the food, he did all of that, but, like, his social and strategic game was not good.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
And, with Cirie, I was disappointed, of course, to see her go. It felt like a lock to me that she would either go around this time, and it would be kinda shocking, or, like, she was gonna make it to the end.
I I felt like we were leading up to Aubry taking her down. I feel like I said it a few weeks ago that there became, like, a change in the edit, like, of tone, and we because I have watched so many seasons, I know that Cirie and Aubry played on a season together and were, like, an alliance, and they're also friends in real life, and so the lack of them together this season was peculiar to me. Whether they, like, actually spent time together and we just didn't see it, or they didn't spend time together, it felt like Aubry was the one who was gonna get her. And it was just like, when is Aubry gonna get enough people to wanna work with her?
You know what? You're right. It does feel a little bit like Aubrey and Cirie could just as easily not even be on the same show.
Mhm.
Like, it was almost weird to see them sit together like that, and I'm just like, "How do you not get anywhere near that?" But if I'm Aubrey, I gotta say I'm probably leaning towards doing the same.
Well, yeah, I don't blame Aubry at all for that.
I'm not getting sucked up in her web. Like, you'd have to be an idiot to go on Survivor and really truly bestie down with Cirie unless you are positive that you are her bestie, because she can really, she stands by her people, but she can really that type of manipulation is very scary to me.
I'm a little bit of the other mind where I would rather be aligned with that great strategic mind and like take my chance that I could trust myself to know when to cut bait than be in the wrath of it. Like in the what do they call
No,
that?
that's true.
The crosshairs? Like I don't want to be in the crosshairs of her.
That's true. I mean, it doesn't feel like Aubry was in her crosshairs, though. It
No.
almost felt like they were doing their own thing a little bit and not in a way to like take offense to if I was Cirie. But, I guess I mentioned this in part, and I know we don't like her, so it's easier to forget this. But the fact that Stephanie has fallen into the same trap with Cirie 6 times, and like the pod has spoken guy, the one who said coach with the feathers in his hair, he
Yep,
was the
Tyson.
one. Yeah, he was the one who was like, "No, I feel like she's gotta be in therapy for that. She's, like, having recurring nightmares about this, and, like, she's so graceful about it, Stephanie, about the way that this has happened to her time and time again, and she, like, hasn't learned a lesson."
So I'm going to say something that's probably not nice. I mean, it's definitely not nice, but I'm just going to say it anyway. The intelligence disparity between Aubry and Stephanie is like an ocean wide. So
Wait, tell me more about this. Because, listen, I look at someone like Stephanie and I'm like, yeah, like, listen, I'm probably a little bit more clever than her, okay? But not really. Like, sometimes these are the people that really like stun me. Someone like Stephanie is smart in ways that I just like you can't earn. Like, she has a little bit of like a I wouldn't say like street smarts, but it's like people like Stephanie, I feel are so good at like
Stephanie
uh
has grit. She will fight and she's gritty, but she's not smart. She's not smart.
did you know Parv was the one that like threw her shoulder out in Stephanie's shoulder? I think she like tripped her or something. She made a reference to it.
It was
Uh,
it was Danielle when they took the scrum off. It was like apparently everyone has always thought it was Parv, and then Danielle just recently said, like, did you watch that same thing that I watched, the RHAP New York event?
I think it was just a clip from that, and it was Parv was like,
Yeah, so Parv was claiming it. Then Danielle said that no, she did it, and then Stephanie said actually neither of you did it. But I mean, somebody did it. So
"Oh, I wonder if she's keeping a secret from them."
the best part of it, though, is not who did it. The best part is that literally moments before it happens, there's another girl on the villain's team who says, break her shoulder right before it happens. And
Oh.
that is the best part, like, of it, is that they actually included it in the show. So when you watch that episode, you actually see little Courtney being like, break her shoulder, and then it breaks. It's
That's
amazing.
insane. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
yeah,
Why would
yeah.
she say that?
Because she's a villain, and she is a real villain, but like one of the most entertaining players that's ever been on Survivor. Like I would have murdered somebody to have Courtney back on season 50. She's amazing.
Oh my god, that's so funny. Wow, what a little
I mean,
psycho.
it was just like, she didn't really mean break her shoulder. It was just like, in the heat of the challenge or whatever. And then it just so happens that it perfectly timed up with one of them pulling the shoulder out.
Yeah, oh my god, that's wild.
Yeah.
I mean,
It was a great
god,
moment.
I gotta say, like, it's weird that this is my first season of Survivor and that, like, it's supposed to be it was, like, pitched as this is gonna be the greatest season of Survivor ever. Like, why we're here is because, like, you and Rob kind of were, like, going on and on about Survivor, and since I'd never seen it, the idea for this podcast was sort of born. I gotta say, it's a weird feeling to know that, like, my first season, which I'm enjoying, is so dogged upon by the diehard fans. And I almost feel like it's like I wanna maybe watch more, I wanna see more, but I think I'm weirdly gonna, like, compare everything to this,
Mhm,
which is also weird because I've heard so much from you guys about how the game is really nothing like the game that you fell in love with years ago.
mhm.
So, yeah, I mean, it's certainly not the most special thing in the world or whatever, but I feels like most people probably in some ways are very, like, endeared to their first season and the first season they ever watched, right?
That's probably true. I mean, I started with the first season, and it's not mine, but I think if you didn't start with the first season, then it probably is, like, whatever one you started on, especially if it was, like, in the HD era, because going back and watching, like, pre-HD, I think is difficult for people that didn't start originally with the show. I think it's hard for them to, like, go back in time, um to when it was, like, so long ago that it wasn't HD, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll tell you, I know that you don't like Aubrey. Actually, Rob and I think maybe we were on TikTok live or we were maybe talking during one of our podcasts and it came up that you don't like Aubrey, and I was like, "Yeah, why does she hate Aubrey?" Like, 'cause Rob was like, "Jessica really hates Aubrey," and I was like, "Why
I
does
don't.
she hate?" You don't?
No!
We were both so mutually united and very clear on the fact that you hate Aubrey for some reason.
No, I just think that that season she keeps referring to, I liked the girl who won better. And I felt like she did deserve to win. So I don't feel like Aubrey was robbed. And then at the beginning of this season, she was so miserable that I did not enjoy watching her. But I think she is a smart player and she like plays above what her skill level should be. Like I think she surpasses expectations. And I have respect, like, for her game. And she also has, like, never been, like, cruel to anybody, which is, like, a nice thing in Survivor, especially, like, if you've played before season 40 when everybody became nice. Like, her at the beginning of the season, her rival was Genevieve, who I love. So, it's not that I hate Aubrey, it's just, like, I didn't enjoy watching her at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, there was something about I feel like, everyone should have an attitude going into Survivor, and I think that I always found it very funny or, like, I was kinda charmed by how Aubrey, seemed like she was doing this because she had to, and she's gonna do it well, but she's not gonna like it. I always thought that that sort of, like, idea of a character for a Survivor player is kind of funny. Was this her first time playing since she's had kids?
I think so.
I think that could also have been, like, a little bit of the rocky start too, and I think maybe I don't know. I feel like some of the people like, that first few days of, like, press and stuff and being at the Ponderosa, that has to be annoying to some people.
Think also, I would imagine that if I knew Aubrey in real life, like, she might be my best friend. But
Oh.
because, like, she's very sarcastic, she's, like, very witty, and she's grumpy. Like, those are all things that I am. But I don't think that this, group of players is endeared to that personality.
Yeah.
Cirie already knew her, Devens already knew her from playing with her in the past, but I don't think that the rest of the players' personalities I think her personality is farthest away from, like, everybody else's. Like, if you put, like, Cirie on, like, the sunniest side of personalities, and then you had to pick somebody who was, like, the grumpiest side, like, it would be Aubry, and then, like, everyone else is somewhere in the middle, but, like, Cirie is, like, so happy and adorable, and Aubry is, like, so grumpy.
Yeah. You know, I have to say, I have to dump on Charlie, my weekly dump on Charlie before we give our advice. I watched the season where he was on and they did fire. He was in the scene where they were doing fire. And that motherfucker was already on the jury. Are you kidding me?
He wasn't on the he wasn't already on the jury? You mean in the finals?
They cut to him in the like, in the middle of one of the fire ch in one of the fire challenges, they cut to Charlie on a jury.
Not on the jury, in the finals. So, like, so 2 people, so when it gets to the end, there's 2 people who are gonna make it to the finals, and the person who won immunity that day gets there's 4 people left. So somebody wins immunity, and that somebody gets to take one person straight to the finals with them, and then forces the other 2 to make fire.
Okay,
So Charlie was already in the finals.
got it, okay. Because um, I was like, if this man didn't even get down to, like, the wire and he was doing all that about Rizzo, like, he needs way more help than I thought he did. But never mind, I was wrong.
I do wanna, before we wrap up, it was amazing to me to watch Cirie turn that information that Rizzo gave her and blame it on Aubry. So she protected Rizzo and, like, framed Aubry, and it would have worked if not for Rizzo being like, "Well, I know that I was the one that said it, so I know it's not true." And, like, if she can make all these people believe it, we have to, like, we have to get her out. But, like, Cirie convinced Jonathan and Joe to vote out Aubry, and only
So
because
easily.
like, and, like, she did that basically, like, while she was, like, half asleep, and she did that. Like, she didn't miss a beat when she did that. It was so good. It was such, like, it's almost like just put, like, Cirie on every season, and even if, like, she's not, like, a player, just, like, let her I
Let
just wanna,
her
like,
just be in the environment.
yeah, like, or, like, have, like, a second, like, a Paramount Plus version where she's, like, narrating of, like, what she would do at this moment or something, because, like, it's so, like, engrossing to me to, like, actually watch someone's mind work and to, like, be able to watch somebody do that because it's not really a thing that you get to watch.
Yeah, yeah, she's, what's that song? "Oh, she's sweet but a psycho." Like, she is so cute. She scares the hell out of me, and I don't know. I just don't think the world's we need so many more of her. We do. Like, she's great. You could tell she's just such a mommy too. Like, she just has, like, the sweetest, like she just I don't know, she seems so caring. I really love her. Uh,
Mhm.
alright, so we're gonna do our advice segment, but for this week, I'm actually gonna ask I'm gonna flip it on its head, and I'm gonna ask you for some advice for mine. What should I be looking for in this finale?
In terms of
Like, things that I might not realize about the nuances of finales, like, things that, like, after watching for a long time
okay.
so many seasons that, like, you've kind of figured out this is a pattern or, like, if this happens, it secretly means this or anything like that.
Say whoever wins that final immunity, depending on, like, if there's fire or not or whatever, whoever wins that final immunity, if they are given the chance to select somebody to go to the finals with them, I think it's interesting to think about why they picked that person. Like, Aubry has been talking a lot about setting up her final 3 so that she has exactly who she wants there. No one else is really talking about it. But it's true because, like, Joe and Jonathan are essentially the same person, and anybody who's gonna vote for Jonathan would also probably vote for Joe, versus if Aubry is there with Tiffany and Jonathan, Jonathan's gonna get all the honor votes, and then Dee might give her vote to Tiffany, Cirie might give her vote to Tiffany, and Aubry, like, where's Aubrey's votes coming from? Maybe Devens, Emily, and Christian? So, it's super interesting to see the configuration of, I mean, if Rizzo wins, who's he gonna take? Look,
Has there ever been a tie at the finale?
yes, one time.
What happened?
I believe that the person, so there's 3 people in the finals, so I believe that the person who didn't tie with the other 2 then was the tiebreaker.
You know, I'm gonna be totally honest with you, Jessica. I would not be surprised if, there was a part of me that was a malicious voter.
Tell me more.
Okay, thank you. So, I feel like, part of me would just wanna do the right thing, but then I've got a little bit of a defiance in me. I'm like Amy Poehler, I've got defiance disorder, okay? I don't. I have the opposite of whatever. I have complete compliance disorder. Um, I I feel like I could be at times maybe my smallest version of myself and maybe not vote for someone who I know intellectually deserves it because of some shitty little feeling.
That happens all the time in Survivor.
Yeah, I know, and it's something that I would objectively not admire a person for doing.
Mhm.
But that I also could be I could be prone to it, is what I'm saying. Like, I was the jury management, they talked about that a little bit, and they said resume too, they said resume.
Oh my god, that I'm shocked that we've only heard it once. It's like it usually is like, like the Andy Cohen, like, Watch What Happens Live word, where you have to drink every time.
Oh my god, that's so funny. Wait, what did they say was gonna be on Rizzo's resume? Is, like, cutting Cirie.
Not playing the idol or holding it until the very last second to
Yeah.
get himself, but they don't know that Rizzo also in my opinion, is the real Aussie, killer. Jonathan thinks it's him, Aubry thinks it's her. I think it's actually Rizzo, but if Rizzo doesn't make it to the finals, then Aubry can claim it, because Rizzo won't be there. Like, like, the hierarchy of who actually took Ozzy out, like, number 1 is Rizzo because he could have stopped it and didn't.
Yeah, Rizzo,
And that
he said very confidently in this episode, he's like, "I've got people on every side." Like, he's like,
Mhm.
and then he's like, "So what?" And then you try, "Well, guess what? I'm connected on every side in here." And I was like, "Ooh, snap." But, like, you're right. I think Rizzo was the one as well because, like, he's the one who's in the position to make the moves, you know?
he also could have stopped Cirie from getting voted out because Tiffany didn't want Cirie out, so if Rizzo didn't, then that would have been at least a tie.
It's demonic to me. It's a little demonic.
Well, she's not even mad at him. I love her so much. She's like, "That's what I would do." Like, that's how you play Survivor. He made the right move.
I didn't see any exit interviews this week, which was, I had to hit the ground running yesterday, and I didn't get to watch any today. Well, I mean, I was being a little bit demonic myself last night, and so I just didn't get anything done today, but, I slept through my psychiatrist appointment, which was at 1 PM. Um, but yeah, I thought that, I don't know, it's really interesting to watch Rizzo play this game, and I do love that Cirie and him are so tight. I saw him, on the dance like, on the stage at some gay bar or
At the drag show?
Yes, and I was like, "This kid is just," and Cirie was there filming him, and I'm just like, "This kid is, like, a fucking piece of work, dude. He's a piece of work." Like, really. I feel like I just, like, turned 60 years old or something saying that, but that's really how I feel. It's like, how else do you describe him? He's a piece of work. He's such a character.
Mhm. Yeah, also, he seems nice.
He seems like a good boy is what he
Yeah.
seems like. Like, he seems like his parents never had to worry about him.
Mhm.
He's been with that girlfriend this whole fucking time since, like,
Liz
high
God.
school. Do you and you know what? Normally, I would say, "Jesus Christ, guys, give it a break. Go out and fuck other people or something," you know? Like, you can't just go straight into marriage from this, like, your high school boyfriend, like, what is this, the '50s? But I do hope they get married, and I do think they could make it.
My sweet baby nephews are from my sister marrying her high school boyfriend, and those boys are the best boys in the whole world.
Who went to Grace Chapel, the weird Christian church in Lexington. It's kinda crazy thinking that we had a mega church. Okay, so what's your advice?
Um, yeah. Okay. So this is for CBS, Jeff Probst, and Survivor. If you can give swan songs to all of the male players, like Ozzy got a whole extra episode to read his letter in after we were already done with the letters. Devens got to pontificate about the stars. Colby got like a standing ovation in the middle of the season, and Cirie got only half an episode. So what the actual F are you doing? Next week better open up with some sort of like retrospective of
You
like
wanna, like, an in memoriam?
I want like, damn you guys, I can't believe we voted out Cirie. That was so rough. And then I want them to flash back and like do like a montage. Like I want a 5-minute montage of her greatest hits because she's the most beloved survivor ever, like in the entire world. And for them to give Devens like a whole like emotional segment and not Cirie on her boot episode, which she had to share with somebody else, is so disrespectful, so disgusting.
Yep.
And frankly, the only good thing that I have to say to them is at least you left the soundbite in where Aubry said that Cirie is even better than Tony, because let me tell you, that was shocking to hear that they left that in. For them to let Aubry say that a woman is better than Tony, who won 2 times, like, blew my mind. But you're not getting credit for that unless you actually properly honor her next week.
Yeah, get it together, you guys. No, you're right. This is what I want. Okay, I think it's gonna be Rizzo goes to bed that night, and he wakes up in the morning, and he, like, walks up to I don't know, who's his friend there now?
Aubry.
Okay, he walks up to Aubry. No, but he wouldn't be able to say this to her. Tiffany. He walks up to Tiffany, and he says, "I feel like we made a terrible mistake." And then he just starts sobbing and sobbing, about how, like, he doesn't know how he could betray her, like, she's one of the GOATs. I mean, he's really someone as someone who's such a student of the show, he could really narrate exactly what he did wrong. But yeah, you guys, this is our penultimate episode. So if you're just joining us now, make sure that you go check out all of our episodes and make sure you're subscribed. I'm not sure what we will be doing next, if we are doing something next or what, but like this was so much fun. If you want to get advice on our final episode, email contact@plzsurvive.com. That's PLZ Survive. Jessica is doing a ton of social media stuff, cranking it out. So make sure you follow us on all socials at Plz Survive Pod, PLZ Survive Pod. And she's been getting like interaction from the cast. And I mean, these people are online.
Yeah, indeed. I even got the famous torch snuffer recently.
Wait, Cirie, the final, did she say the tribe has spoken? Is she the
Yeah,
first person to have ever done that?
I can't remember. It's possible.
That Jeff's arrogant ass thinks that's enough.
It's certainly not a thing that has happened more than 5 times. I'm not sure if she was the first one to do it.
Yeah.
Fun fact is, so like that's an interesting torch snuffing. And in her previous time that she played, which most recently was Australia versus the World, that host of that series is like beloved, and they actually replaced him, and she was his final torch snuff. on Australian Survivor, out of, like, the whole Australian Survivor franchise. So her last 2 torch snuffings have been, like, particularly notable in Survivor.
Well, they should be. This is definitely a Jeff Probst hate podcast, by the way. I want to really establish that. I can't stand the man. He can't be gone soon enough. All right. You guys, thank you so much for listening. Appreciate y'all. The tribe has spoken. Bye.